Sonshines Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
Well, it's Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Welcome into the hottest spot in town. This is Sonshines Corner. I trust that you had a wonderful weekend and as well as I. Well, it is a new day, a new week, a new beginning. And I believe in always stepping up to do something different to make it even better. And today is not going to be any difference. Well, we're going to be talking with Rick Outzen. He's running a little late, but you know, you always read his blogs. And we're going to talk about so many things that's involved with the community. But what I would like to say to you, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I was thinking about this here just this weekend. I was thinking to the fact that even when we are doing things that we need a plan. Whatever it is that you choose to do, we need to get a plan going. We don't just want to go off the cuff. We need a plan. And I give that question to any and everybody, and I'll say this as well. Please think things through before you open up your mouth. Wouldn't that be a great deal? Sonshine's here with you, and I trust that you understand where I'm coming from, because I know that this week is going to be a lot of things that's going on. And today was the first day of school. What about that? It was the first day of school today. Everybody, I tell you, you got caught up behind those school buses. I did, because I think I left home just a little bit early so that I won't be caught up in that traffic. And the day, it is a new day, starting with new things, and we got new ideas to share with you. I want to wish all of the kids a great start for this year and this upcoming school year. Keep parents, keep your head focused, keep the kids focused so they can be successful in this upcoming school year. So do that for me. And when we talk about things like that with our children, I tell you every single day that it is always good to remember that our children are our future. We got to invest into them. You know, our kids mimic us. They mimic what they see. And the fact of it is, sometimes you got to be mindful of what you're doing so that they won't mimic the wrong thing. I'm just being real. You know, I told you that we're going to have a very good friend of mine, a person that I have followed, walked with for many years. He does so much, and I tell you, if you have not read his blog, you're missing out on a lot of things. If you don't know what Inweekly is all about, you're missing out on something that you should to be involved with. Even there is upcoming entrepreneurs. He even focuses on young people with the things that they do. We are glad to have him with us today to share some of his secrets, or should I say, his knowledge on all the things that he covers right here in the community. I want to welcome into the studio today Mr. Rick Outzen. He is a man that does a lot for the community. He's just laughing, but it's true, Rick. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning.
Well, I'm telling the truth.
Well, it's just in time delivery. I left one interview to run over here real quick, but I would not want to miss this.
I thank you so much for coming in, because I tell you, I check out your blog all the time, and it is so good because you touch things that needs to be touched.
Well,
you bring out points that needs to be brought out, and I think that's what affects a lot of us sometimes, Rick, is we don't want to talk about things, and I think the only way we can get through it is to talk about it.
Well, right. I mean, the idea is that these are the stories that are out there. This is what's happening behind the scenes, and I think that we need to have conversations, so hopefully we can do that.
Exactly, and you know what, Rick and I had talked about this before. We're going to make sure that we get this done, though, because I want him on my show more often so we can talk about things.
I will.
Okay, but look, Rick, the thing I think of right now at top of mind, and I was reading your blog, I read a couple things that you wrote about as far as, and I just want to get another side of the coin from what I see. With the Fricker Center, the thing that's going, because the meeting is going to be this week. Right. And did you attend the first one?
No, we had a reporter there though.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, then you saw it.
Yes.
I read that one. I saw
was,
the big face on the thing.
Yeah, it was wild.
It went along. I said, oh my God. Now, I was really pleased to see, though, it was a lot of people that showed up, but I think this is me. This is me. The people that were there were the contractors. These people couldn't answer those questions or the concerns that you had. They want to know what you want for the community as far as when it comes to with the Fricker Center.
Right. It was supposed to be just a public opportunity to give some input on the changes for the Fricker Center.
Exactly.
But it touched on a nerve that coming after the resignation of Police Chief Eric Randall, and just a growing resentment, or resentment may be too strong a word, but an uneasy feeling within the black community that now that our neighborhoods have changed somewhat and
gentrification,
that now services are starting to happen in their neighborhood, and the growing feeling in the conversations that I've had, and I'm sure you hear it all the time, is that we're fixing it up for the white people. You know, as soon as we do, they're going to take it over.
That's what I love about Rick. He gonna tell it like it is.
Well, you know, it really touched a nerve, and it really explained. Because I was trying to understand what was going on, and I started talking to people and listening, and more, it's that is the worry is that
they're going to take Addicts
we're
Court.
We're going to Addicts Court, which it doesn't really have much there, but we've seen what's happening over at Theopolis May and Legion Field, where the predominantly white neighborhood association is upset that Southern Youth Sports is using that facility more than anybody else. Fricker Center has been kind of forgotten, and to the mayor's credit, he wants to build it up and make it into a full senior citizen center, but there's concerns there. Who's it going to be for? And then, of course, the overarching story, you know, Sonshine, about Baptists and the Legacy Campus, that is, you know, that is a huge concern. Because what's it going to look like? Who it's going to be for? Will it be what type? Will it be a catalyst for the entire community or for a certain segment?
I agree, and you know, I think also it was also brought up that night 'cause I was there, and I sat back in the back and I listened.
Right.
And I could hear the concern in a couple of people's voices, as well as they even brought up this area here, down on the villa, down here.
Right.
That you say, well, who do you think is down there now? Okay, they're saying that the white folk came into this community where it used to be an all-black area. I want to find out what it is how can I say this? I got to be forward like you.
Right. Well, you don't have to be.
Okay, with those,
I'll handle that.
With the people, with the concerns that they have, which I can understand. Let me say this. I often hear people say, I understand what you're feeling. No, you don't. You could never understand because I'm black.
Right, 100%.
You could never understand the depths of what I feel. You may understand what you hear me say, but you'll never understand that deep-rooted fear that's on the inside. And I think that's what the community was saying.
Right, and I think it's valid, and I think that it's there's no silver bullet. We've got to figure it out. We've got to have the dialogue. We have to have the dialogue.
That's what I want.
You know, and I think, you know, to the mayor's credit, you know, he's tried to do that. He's done a lot with Hollis T. Williams. He's looking at there's a lot of good things going on, but the most important thing is do the listening component.
Exactly, I agree.
Yeah.
And I heard so many. And I was amazed when I saw the differentiation in the age groups. They were all there.
Right.
Young, in the middle, and older.
Right.
They were all there. They all had concerns. Then it got so heated, I think, that they end up just mimicking the same thing.
Well, it sort of feeds itself sometimes.
Exactly.
When a room's not well managed, and they were the city staff was overwhelmed. They were surprised by it, but I still think that you know, that's what can happen in big rooms. But you know, what I wanted to do, and thank you for validating it, is that I wanted to find out what's the underlying thing, and it's a lot of mistrust.
It is. That's it within itself. And I got to be honest about this, and we cannot take away from the fact that other things that are happening from the current administration that's causing us to even feel more distrust.
Right.
Before, so many things that are happening that the community that I've spoken with, the community, even with the people that I've had on the show, they feel as if that it's just trickling down, and it's like there's a right there. Okay, I can do this now. That's what we're feeling.
Right.
And when you have this type energy that comes to you, we as that black community want to find out how is it Is it that way, or we're going to have to fight this? We're talking about the civil rights. We're even talking about with Black history. All of these things just happen so quickly. And now here locally, when they look around, the question is, are they going to take that away? The gentrification going to be right there, over there in that community, which I have worked in that community with those kids for 20 years.
Right, I know.
And it is, my heart is, and like what I want them to understand, my people, my community. Let's come up with a plan for what you want with the Fricker Center. If there are issues that you want to deal with on the other level, there's a meeting that's held weekly that you can go to. City Council, go to City Hall and speak and let your voice be heard. But with this, I think that, thank God for that, they're giving with the mayor what he's done to offer us this kind of dollars. That's a lot of money.
Right.
Let's use this to benefit our community. Let's add something on with the Fricker Center. We know that there are things there that, heck, it needs a reface all the way.
Well, it's been ignored for a long period of time.
A long time, Rick.
Right.
And the fact that I think that this is our opportunity as a community to come together with a plan so that we can get some of the things that we feel that's so beneficial for the elderly that's in that community, for the youth that's in that community. I have this great idea in my head. I've always said, oh, if I had a little wellness center here, that would be so great. But that's just an idea of mine. But these are things to even better the community. I want to find out how we can break this when trust is lost. That is something so hard to rebuild, because trust is something that's earned. And when we lose that fact of the trust, we've got to find a way. I want to see what you feel. How can we break that bond that all these dots must connect? Red, yellow, black, red, and brown. They gotta connect.
Right.
In order for it to be a successful, even with that project over there. I look at the fact also that I want people to fight for. I often take this back to civil rights. Some of the things that are going on now. I remember just several years ago, before John Lewis transitioned, he said, when you fight, get into good trouble.
Right.
There's a way to do it. Get in that good trouble, then nothing can be taken away. I don't know if there are ways that, even if it was gentrification coming, could you stop it?
Well, I think that's, no. I mean, without banning people from buying homes, which you don't want to do. That's not how the system works. I think that there needs to be, I'm real encouraged by what we saw last week with the Escambia County and the 14 homes that they've put,
saw that.
which are a lot of them in District 3, a lot of them not very far, within walking distance of where we are right now.
Exactly.
And you're looking at first-time home buyers that had hit a certain threshold, and they were from a lot of different districts. They ended up, the lots were here, but they came from all 5 districts, all shades of skin, and it was an amazing week of Habitat and the county using their SHIP money, their federal money, state money to start 14 homes. And hopefully, the plan, and Commissioner May mentioned it, is the money from selling those 14 homes will now go to start another 14 homes.
Exactly.
And then you have people living in a home that's about a $200,000 home that they're getting some assistance to help pay the mortgage, but it's in an area where it's got homes that are $500,000.
Exactly.
So we can integrate, in the true sense of the word integrate, different socioeconomic groups in a neighborhood, and the neighborhood thrive.
Which is true. I saw. I could see the smile on Lumen's face. He was handing out those keys this past week.
Yeah, he was excited.
He was he was all in heaven, because I think that is a moment to evolve. Don't misunderstand me. I believe that we all should evolve. We should want better.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, a fact of the fears that you may have. And I think some of these people may be because of the fact, if I can't afford it, I think that's a great thing that for them to think about. They fear this. But I want to talk about the fact that how can we get people to understand, even with the betterment of the Fricka, which is a legacy building right there for the community.
Right.
That we got to keep it, but it's okay to make it better. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We're going to talk more with Rick about that because there's so many things that we want to get you to understand. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I want you to hear what he's saying. And I believe also, if we collectively put all of our thoughts together, we can't help but come up with a greater solution. We're going to talk about that more right here on Sonshines Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sonshines Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sonshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
At FPL, we plan for storm season all year long. We're strengthening poles to better withstand severe weather. We're clearing lines to improve resiliency, and we're constantly training teams to act at a moment's notice. Because we're always working, always preparing. So when storms do hit, you can count on us. FPL, working for you every single day.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Take a ride on the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley. From now until September 4th, from 4 p.m. to midnight, tour Pensacola Beach for free on the Island Trolley. Our open-air trolleys allow riders to take in all the fun and sun of Pensacola Beach. Plus, riders will be able to track the trolley's location, making it easier for everyone to plan ahead and enjoy the ride. To learn more about the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley, head to visitpensacolabbeach.com/trolley-information. See you on the trolley.
And welcome back to Monday's edition of Sonshines Corner. And we're having a great conversation today. Rick Outzen is a man that does a lot in this community. And I love the fact that he's so transparent. I think transparency means a lot.
It does.
Because with the things that you do, with the things that you represent, with the things that you talk about on your blog, it's just a fact. I mean, facts are facts. And there are things that I think, and I'll say this till I can't say it anymore, we need to be more open to have a conversation. I didn't say to scream, I said to have a conversation.
Right.
About the things that are coming up. We're talking about the Fricka Center. The meeting that we're going to have this week is going to be, well, the meeting was going to be last week at the Fricka. It was going to be at 6:30 in the afternoon, but the mayor changed it to this week, as a matter of fact.
Well, it was 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was right before the end of the month.
Exactly.
And then he was going out of town for a while, so yes, it's this week.
It's this week, and I plan to be there because I want to be there just to hear.
We'll be there.
Well, we'll be there. And the fact of it, I want to, why is it you think that the community is so, and I'm just being transparent again, screaming at him so? Because I think now, let me answer me this. On those type meetings, does he usually come to those meetings?
He does, and I think he had another conflict that night. And I think they just thought it was going to be a normal public input session. I'm not sure they were prepared for what happened, which is really so unfair to the people that were there. I mean, they're city employees. This is
I know.
part of what you get. So you don't necessarily, they take the peck check, so they got to take the abuse. But I don't think it was intentional for him to be disrespectful to the community. And I've never known him to hesitate to go to a meeting. So I think that this will be good, and I think they'll be better prepared.
I think so too, because that meeting really was supposed to be a meeting that's going to talk about what's going to happen. But I'm just going to be transparent. It turned into hatred. It turned into racism. It turned into everything.
Right.
Except the things that were being talked about that should be talked about. And I'm hoping that this week, because this is a question too that I've gotten a lot from with the community, that the meeting was changed because of the fact that so many people showed up. They want to do it in the morning because there won't be that many people that can show up because they're going to work. It's accountability. They got kids going to school, and school just started today, and the meeting is tomorrow. I'm just using tomorrow as an example.
Right.
But it's not going to be as many people that can show up.
Right. I agree that the reasoning is that they wanted to have more senior citizens, that it'd be easier for them to come in the day. It doesn't really pass the smell test.
No.
So I think that, which is disappointing, and maybe they need to have a third meeting then.
I think so too, because I think this meeting is going to really, and this is just me, I said, with this meeting being 8 o'clock in the morning from 8 until 9:30, no. I mean, more people at work, and the fact that school just started today.
Right.
Parents got to get the kids on the bus.
And you know, the first week of school is hectic. You know, times and buses and classrooms, and kids are nervous, and so the first week is disruptive to a family already.
I think so too. What does leadership mean with all this tension that's going on now? When I say leadership, I mean the people that are over, I'm with the city, with the mayor, with the leaders. There's a lot of tension there.
Well, there is, and
it's at its highest, as a matter of fact. I've never seen it this high.
Well, I think that one thing that Mayor D.C. Reeves does is that he looks at facts, he pulls facts together, so he tries to make fact-based decisions.
Okay.
So I think that gives him a certain amount of strength when he presents something.
Okay.
You know, I think that I think we look with Commissioner May. He is. What's so unusual about him as a politician is that he's in the community every day, and it's a lot to do with Southern Youth Sports and the football and basketball. I mean, he is literally interacting with 1,000 families, every week.
And what they've done over there in that park anyway, because I remember when that park, when I first got here, we played ball out there, and look at the park now, it's totally different.
Right.
I mean, it is so different. We used to have our competitive softball games out. We used to invite Mobile over to play ball.
Right. Well, and what's happening now, and this is the other thing I noticed at the last county commission meeting, is that the commissioners have a few minutes before the business to make a few comments. Right. And you listen to Commissioner May, it's always going to be about families, who passed, what this person was, they own this business, you get a real reflection of his connection to the district. Stephen Barry can do the exact same thing because he grew up in the north part of the county. His family's barbecue restaurant is a go-to place for people. And so when they talk in the beginning of a meeting, they're going to talk about, the owner of the barber shop who passed, or this person, or this teacher, and they know them, and it's that piece that helps you, I think, through difficult leadership challenges, is that you know where the people stand.
Right. I'll revert back to the question I asked. What do you think it's going to take for us to get that trust level back, so that because it's torn? Is that there's no trust at all. What do you think? Which way should we go to try to rebuild the trust from the black community and with what's happening now?
Well, I think it takes a lot more meetings. I think go to church, go to the churches, listen, go to the barbershop, go to go to ball games. You have to move around in the community to understand the community. Right. And I think that's the first step. I think that's the simplest step, but it's also the ones that matter. Because then people get to know you.
When it comes to even with the meeting that's coming to Friday, so much more that's going on in the city. How can you describe meetings that are contentious like it was the other day, and then here's a meeting that's changed, how are we going to get the trust back that I feel that was taken away? Because when I'm out in the community, what I hear is this was done purposely. And they want to trust, but they're afraid to trust.
Right.
Because even what I hear a lot of, I mean, they're afraid, and I'll be honest with this, somebody told me 5 or 6 years ago, if not longer, that Alex Court was going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And what about those people there that cannot afford
right.
the housing? That's why they're living there, they can't afford it. Is there going to be something that's going to be able to ensure them of their homestead so they won't fear, wow, where am I going to go? Because if the whole town is changing, how can I help myself?
Right. Well, and you know, we, and that's a really multi-layered question, Sonshine, but you look at it, that's why shows like this are important.
Right.
This is because we've lost a lot of mediums to connect with the Black community.
Exactly.
We had the Pensacola Voice, Robert Hill with WRNE does a fantastic job. But the other network stations don't really connect to the community anymore. And so it's you have to walk the walk. You have to go. You know, gosh, 15 years ago when we were I really wanted to broaden the paper and broaden its reach, and so we made a conscious effort. I remember sitting down with a group of Black pastors and said, you know, I said, tell me your stories. I said, watch me for a year, see what I do, see how we cover it, and I've made lifelong friends out of that group. But it was not me coming in assuming that they like me or assuming that they would accept me.
Exactly.
I assumed that they wouldn't.
I hear you.
And so I knew that the way to build connections is spend the time and go to the churches and listen to the stories, and when they come with something, see if there's something we can do with it. And not every time we can, but it, you know,
the more you talk about it.
But it's an investment of time, and time is what tell people that you care.
Exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a conversation I feel that needs to be talked about more often, and that is why we do what we do. The facts are that you have the opportunity, and I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity, whereas we are about to get an upgrade there in the community that's so important with the Fricker Center. It is a legacy that's built there with the community, so let's continue to walk in that area so we can better it. I believe in evolving every day. Every single day, find a way to evolve to get better. Even with the conversation that we're going to have with the mayor coming up on Thursday, the 14th? That's Thursday, right? Thursday. But what I want you to do is make your plans to be there. And this time, come with a attitude that I'm going to ask questions and listen. Then if you can see where's the changes that are being overlooked, then you can make another question. But I believe that is the next fact. We have tried so hard, and this is why, and I'm not trying to say anything but truth. Sometimes I have difficult conversations on this show, but that's what it's about. To have a difficult conversation, but you can feel good talking about it, because that's what's going to get the change. Right. And that is a fact of what we got to learn to do. And I don't want anybody to feel that, I don't think that there is a level of, even with, not just with the Fricker Center, I want to even flip something else that's affecting people, because I had Grace, so I'm flipping the page because there's so many things that's going through my mind right now. I think about the things that are happening where we as a community all got to come together, because we as the people of color are feeling this. And I'm not just talking about the Black community, I'm even talking about with Grace what she's feeling too. Right. I had her on. With ICE that's happening right here, right in Escambia County. Right. These things are real. Mm-hmm. These things that if you're not in that community, you don't feel it. You know of it, but you don't feel the depths of it. She was in tears on the show because of what had happened. And I'm saying there were people that were at this meeting a couple of weeks ago. I felt their heart, I felt their pain. I had a call from a young lady, and she said, Sonshine, can you please help me to understand? I can't feel, maybe you'll never feel it. Right. Right. She was a white friend of mine, but she came to me, she said, I want to understand. I said, I can tell you all day. You only see the surface, you'll never feel what's on the inside
Right.
because you've never had to walk that road. And what we see, I feel like even right now, there are things that are happening. I've asked myself why. Because it looks as if Rick is pointed toward my community. I'm just being real. And even with the fact of, I try my best to be that level head so I can share the level headedness with the viewers, because I want them to understand there are things that we can do. I had a couple of people on my show and I asked them, my purpose for having them on the show was I want to know what your plan is. Don't go in, as my mother used to say, gun shocked.
Right.
With no plan. What is your plan? If you see the problem, what's the plan? Do you have a plan? Can you come to me and say, hey, look, A, B, C, D, E, F, G with that? We're going to talk more about that because I have something I wrote down that I got to ask you about. This is a deep one.
Now I'm
with
scared.
us. Please, everybody, call us up if you want to be a part of the show. I did even put my plea out there to have people to call at 850-432-7768. You can call or text, but I want to hear what you think about all this meeting that's coming up this week right here on Sonshines Corner.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Keep going, more. No, stop!
Come see us at Royal Appliance Outlet. We have refrigerators, washers and dryers, stoves, beautiful furniture from all of your name brands that you know and trust. Samsung, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, and GE, all at discount prices. Come visit us today at 1612 Face Boulevard. You're gonna love our easy credit to help you bring all of your favorite furniture home. Come visit Royal Appliance Outlet.
It's baseball season. From heart-stopping plays to legendary victories, this is baseball at its finest. Grab your seat, bring your energy, and witness greatness live. Don't just watch it, feel it. The Pensacola Blue Wahoos are back, and you can watch Pensacola Blue Wahoos home games live on Fridays and Saturdays, only on Blab TV. Love the Blue Wahoos but can't watch? Get your tickets now.
The Emerald Coast Utilities Authority's state-of-the-art materials recycling facility processes recyclables for communities throughout the region, lowering need for more landfills. This highly efficient recycling service accepts glass, paper, cardboard, plastics, aluminum, and more. But we need your help. Please make sure your recyclables are clean of garbage, food, and liquids. Also, please remember that plastic shopping bags, foam products, or yard waste are not recyclable. To learn more, go to livegreenecua.com.
And welcome back to Sonshines Corner on this Monday edition of, and we're having a great conversation with Mr. Rick Outzen, who has Inweekly. He got the greatest blog. I mean, he is a man that's out there in everything. And believe me, he has that watchful eye. And the way you put it in print, you can't help but want to read it. I was reading one of your blogs like that. Even Cynthia said, I'm so glad, Cindy said, I'm so, you know, Cindy, she follows you a lot. She speaks.
Oh, she does.
She speaks.
You know, she does.
But we were
God
talking on accountability and moving forward. What do you think, coming from what you see from your eyes, how we should move forward to make this better?
Well, you know, and I really believe that it takes conversations, it takes meetings. Now, I think that, you know, from my understanding, the mayor has met with various groups in the black community since that first meeting.
Okay.
So he's done some legwork. He's listened. I think what happens sometimes with leaders is they get the idea and they're so sold on the idea that when they really don't want any input to mess it up.
Exactly.
You know, and
I got
so
you.
you have to. That's the way democracy works, though, is that no one's gonna get everything that they want.
No, they're not.
But you've got to figure out what's the best for everybody, and can we touch as many checkpoints that we need to hit.
I think that if we would go back to the point of handling things like I think they just become more easy to work with. I believe in having a conversation. But from what I saw, it was one-sided. I want everybody to have a point to speak. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And with this is so important to us, ladies and gentlemen. This is $9 million to upgrade in our community. Do you think there's a chance that it could be lost if we keep procrastinating?
I think it's always a possibility. I mean, it's I think the plan is a good plan. We need to separate that from the discussions. The discussions still need to be happening.
I got you.
And that's going to take spending time in the community. But I think the overall plan for Fricker is a positive plan. It's taking a building that's underused, that has a little bitty baseball field that nobody really uses. It's had crime issues in the past. It desperately needs an upgrade, and having and I think health is going to be a part of it.
I think so.
So I think that
I still say wellness.
I think there's a way to add all those components with the money and been able to do it. So I think it's a great idea. Definitely, we went from, and this is one thing I think that Ashton Hayward did a really good job of initially, is that we didn't have all community services stopped at I-110. You didn't go anything to the west. There was hardly any parks, any park ground equipment anywhere. The mayor committed, built 2 community centers,
Yes,
Woodland and Thopolis May. You saw Grover step it up a little bit more. I think DC has really stepped it up. So I think that we're seeing it evolve, but we go through a period where there wasn't a whole lot over here.
Right.
And so we're seeing movement that's positive. We just got to be sure that it reflects what the community wants also.
Absolutely. Now, when you say that, when you go all the way back to Ashton and with Grover and all this, I mean, I remember the conversation you had with Ashton, and I said some things he did that he really did. But the fact that at Grover, I worked so well with him.
Right.
I had him on every Wednesday.
Oh, he loves TV.
I mean,
he loves radio. No, listen, he's good for it.
I mean, and all of this, what I'm saying though, is like, but in the community, there is such a lack of trust with the mayor. I'm being real.
Yeah, and I think that's a communication issue.
Right.
And I think the only way to do it is to get into the community and listen. But I can sense it. You're right. I think that you have a lot of black department heads that have been fired or resigned in the city, and Grover did a good job of
keeping that,
giving back and promoting from within the community. I think, but I think there's an effort that needs to be made in doing that. Now, we just
let me ask you, I'm not
go
cutting
ahead.
you off.
No.
When you
you
think
are, but it's fine.
I'm fine. I mean, excuse me. I got to say it before I forget.
No,
because when
please.
you said that, you said even with the people that are let go, but 90% of people are black.
Yeah. Right.
Why? I mean, this is something that we're thinking about. Okay, why all the black?
Right.
That is something that. Wait, let me share something with you. I mean, you already know this because where I was previously, I was the only black.
Right.
Okay? And after 20 years, I was only black. Do you know what that made me think?
Right.
And I believe that to this day. And I can imagine what the community is feeling. Believe me, I understand. When that happens, when it's just people of color that have qualifications. That bothers me, Rick. Somebody got a question. Because I get emotional when I think about what I thought and the last, and I gotta say this, I've been holding this in forever. Even with myself, 6 years felt like 12 years from where I was previously.
Right.
because I knew what it was pointed at, the things that what was pointed at, and then, lo and behold, none of that there now.
Right.
None.
Agreed.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Sunshine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. Derek, how are you?
Good. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing quite well. Thank you for asking. I am just listening to the show, and I had a question because I was listening to Mr. Outzen talk about how positive the changes are for the Pensacola community and the work that Mayor D.C. Reeves is doing. And from my perspective, and I guess my question becomes, from my perspective, when I look at it, I see an affordability crisis. And not only the state of Florida, but certainly here in Northwest Florida, and especially in Pensacola. I see a growth in our unhoused population, and I see black communities and people who have had legacy homes and in his Florida, Pensacola, be moved out, to be displaced because they can't afford property taxes, because we're putting $500,000 to $600,000 homes in their place, and they're being displaced. And we see massive amounts of gentrification. We've seen the removal and the firing of Chief Eric Randall after a historic performance and making Pensacola the fourth safest city in the United States to live. So I guess my question becomes, for whom is the positive change for, and how do you see it as positive?
Well, I think all those points are great points. I think affordability is a huge issue, but I also know that the mayor did the massive pay increase that we've never seen before, and it wasn't, and it helped people on the lower end of the scales, the ones that had to have a second job to be affordable. So he really, I think that's a huge positive thing that went across the spectrum for all the workers, not the ones at the top, but the ones at the bottom have been getting paid better than they've ever had before. And I think that's definitely a very positive thing that we've seen. I think affordability in housing is a monster that no one's ever really completely solved. I do think you do make a really good point that the mayor's philosophy is all housing's good, and it's not a bad philosophy, but even if $1 million homes come in, the homes that they had before will now go to someone else that'll be more affordable. But the problem is, just like you said, is that the houses that are coming behind the $1 million homes are still not affordable, and we're not. That's why I think what Escambia County did last week, those 14 homes with Habitat, was a really positive step. It's only 14 homes, but it was a positive step. We've got to figure out a way to do it, and they're still trying to figure it out. So there are some positives. I think the pay plan, I was looking at it today, because the city got a DOGE letter from the state. So I was looking, and one of the things they wanted to look is that pay plan, and it really focused on the bottom tier getting their salaries up, and that helped all colors, And so I think that sometimes gets forgotten because it took 3 years to do it.
Yeah, I think at times we have to be careful on the message that we're sending, because as we know, particularly when you look at what's happening, optics are everything, and the message that we're putting across when we say it's positive doesn't reflect a positive change for everyone across all the communities. It seems to benefit in a certain racial and socioeconomic status. So I think we have to be careful in that. And I think what we're seeing is a lot of people reacting to the change that everyone seems to think is positive, but when we look at it, it doesn't seem so much it seems to alienate one group of people. So I would just urge us to be mindful as we're talking about this, to make sure we're looking at it from an inclusive standpoint, and making sure that the changes that we're seeing and reflecting are good for everybody, and not just one type of people. That's all.
Good point. Good point.
Very good point. Thank you, Derek. You're
Thanks
always
so
there. Thank you, Derek.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I mean, he makes such great points in the fact that with this, everything, and I've said this several times during this hour, that it feels like it's pointed toward a direct, one community. And that is a hard pill to swallow, but yet, even though it's being said that it's positivity, but we don't see it.
Right. Well, and I think that is a good point, but it's also, I think the other side of that coin is to go just as with the same broad brush and say the mayor's done nothing. Well, when you look at that pay plan, it's huge. You know, and that was sanitation workers. That was the bottom level saw their pay to where it was they could make a living.
Right.
You know? and that nobody does that. They
Right.
always worry about we got to pay $200,000 to get this person or that department head or this one, and we tend to forget about those that are in the startup positions or the more labor intensive positions that they never get their share.
Absolutely. We're going to continue this conversation because I've got one more deep question I've got to ask Rick today.
Oh my God.
Coming up, and you can be a part of this conversation as well, 850-432-7768. I love to hear your feedback, and don't wait to inbox me after the show. I love to hear your feedback right here on Sonshines Corner.
My name's Kelly McLeod. I'm the owner of Bella Magazine. Bella is a source of uplifting and inspiring content for the women of Pensacola.
I think the magazine is just so thoughtfully done. There's a lot of attention to detail. The stories are really good.
You've got seriousness, you've got fun, education, fashion. It just encompasses everything.
Women are multidimensional, and so is Bella.
From the efficiency of American natural gas and the dependability of nuclear power, to the strength of Florida's sunshine and the flexibility of advanced battery storage systems, we leverage a diverse mix of energy sources to power our growing state, ensuring reliable, low-cost power for your home or business whenever you need it. FPL, working for you every single day.
Take a ride on the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley. From now until September 4th, from 4 p.m. to midnight, tour Pensacola Beach for free on the Island Trolley. Our open-air trolleys allow riders to take in all the fun and sun of Pensacola Beach. Plus, riders will be able to track the trolley's location, making it easier for everyone to plan ahead and enjoy the ride. To learn more about the Pensacola Beach Island Trolley, head to visitpensacolabbeach.com/trolley-information. See you on the trolley.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
Little they need to do to get it.
And welcome back. We're talking about a little bit of a lot more. But you know what? I'll say this, but I love talking to people that understand. That got me right there. But the fact of it is, I believe that sometimes I'm a strong believer. My faith is strong. I believe sometimes God will do things to move you to what He wants you to do. Continue to do what He wants you to do, because I continue to work for the community.
You do.
My thing is for the community. Whatever I can do to keep the. And I'll say this too, even now I can go deeper than I could previously. But now I feel so a part of making a huge effort so that the community can understand. I want them to, and this is my analogy, I want them to always think about doing this. When you lock things together, you make a huge impact. Right. Because everybody is together. But in order to get there, we got to talk about it. Sometimes those uncomfortable conversations are what we need. With the fact that what Derek made, that sometimes we feel like when they say, yeah, there's positive change, but the positive change doesn't feel like it's coming toward us. Right. Or when I say us, because it's beautiful tan.
Right. Well, no, you have to really think of the entire community.
Exactly.
And I think that's the role. The mayor is the mayor of the entire city.
Exactly. But you know what I want the mayor to do? Hello, Mayor. You coming? Okay, I thank you, Mayor. I would love for the mayor just to spend a little bit more time in the community.
Right.
I'm just saying, come out there and step in that community for some of the things and see the things, not just what I'm talking about, be about it. To be out there in some of those things, you know what I'm saying? So that the community won't feel like I've got to scream because he's not hearing me. I don't have to put this way because I don't feel like I trust you. Show me that I can trust you is what I'm saying, that I wish that if he would take that time. I'm going to invite him on my show. And because I just want to have a conversation with him. And I want him, because I tell you this much, this show reaches the Black community big time.
Of course.
And I love the fact of what it does, and I want him to be, to come talk about the things that he has plans for, to let them be able to talk to him. That's why I open lines at times, so that he can build that relationship with the community that we're talking about.
Right.
And it's not a difficult thing. I'm going to call you, Mayor, and I want to get him on the show. But I thank God for what he has done, and I say that for the positive change. Even when you mentioned the increase in the salaries, this is what was resonating through my thought process. Sure, there are people, those laborers out there that is working on the streets, but I'm thinking about the ones that's been picked out and shipped out. Why? Mm-hmm. If we got money that we can make these here a little better, then why not keep those and keep that color in there, and don't just make it feel like, or we feel like that it's all pointed at that one community.
Right. Good points. You know, it does begin with conversation. I do think you play a very valuable role. I mean, we invest within Inweekly to be sure that our papers are throughout the community.
Exactly.
And because we understood with the loss of the voice that we felt like we needed to step up what we were doing to make that happen. And we have. And you look at, I think that the hardest thing to understand is, I think for leaders is, you know, you start listening before you talk.
Exactly.
You know, and you have to do that, and you may not know the answer.
Exactly.
You know, and it takes time.
It does. There's an old cliche that I used to hear. I can hear my mother used to say. She said, "Baby, why do you think you have 2 ears and 1 mouth? You need to listen more."
Yes.
You know, that was she would tell us all the time. Listen more, and that's why you got 2 ears.
Right.
And don't talk so much, just listen. But the fact of it is, we are listening, and we're going to see a huge impact. I think that the community is going to turn out Thursday more so than thought.
Right.
I really believe that, because of the fact they know what it is that they're fighting for. I want them to be able to fight, but do it in a tone that we can all be heard.
Right.
Come in with a plan. Come in with whatever it is you want to talk to him about. Come in with what you would like to see happen at the Bricker Center.
Right.
Ask him to spend more time. Ask him in his face to come out and spend time with you.
Right. Invite him to your events.
Invite him to the events that are coming up. So look, Mayor, get ready. Thanksgiving, I want you to come help me serve. No, Ashton did that once before. I mean, I'm just saying that. But no, I still think that if we come together with those that are fearing, to let them know that you are reachable. I always say that if a person feels like I can reach out and touch you, that okay, that person is reachable.
Well, and it becomes less intimidating, less.
Yes.
It's easier to criticize someone when you don't see them face to face, or you're doing it on a keyboard.
Yes.
You know, it becomes real when they are real.
Exactly. You said a mouthful then. It becomes real when they are real. And I'll say that to the community. Can you believe we're down to 3 minutes? Man, it goes by so fast. I mean, this is what we're talking about today. We're talking about the issues that's in our community right now. We're talking about the real separation that's there. We're talking about the fears that you're feeling right now. We're talking about the distrust that you have and how we're going to overcome that so that we as a community can come together to better our community. Rick, I want to thank you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Look,
I'll be a little sooner next time.
No, look, I'm putting this invitation out there. He's coming back real soon, okay? Because I think that we should have that conversation because he's in the community as well. As the thing that you heard today, he's being transparent. You're talking about the things that it needs to talk about. And I thank you for that transparency. That it is good to talk to because we as a people, believe it or not, we got to be together no matter what.
Right.
We got to live together. I thank you. Continue doing what you're doing to be that voice. And you always got a seat right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? You always got a seat here. And I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget about, there's so many things I didn't even get to cover, but that's okay. We covered a lot. Coming up this week, there is another community meeting. It's going to be 8 o'clock until 9:30. And it's going to be with the mayor. And I encourage you, ladies and gentlemen, if there's something you would have to say, don't scream it to me. Let's take it there. But please, when you go there, go in a manner that you can be heard. Make sure that you are there. Show up and show out. Bring in your concerns so that you will be talking to the mayor. Things can be worked out. So I encourage you to do that. I can't thank you enough for always being a part of the show. I really appreciate your input. All the inboxes I get, I appreciate you. And for this young lady that texted me she inboxed me this weekend, Sherry. Thank you so much. She said, I am a sold out fan. You got a great show and I am there every day. Thank you so very much. I'm not overlooking anybody else, but she took the time to personally to put that question in to me to make that statement. And I appreciate you because all I want to do is be the voice to make a difference right here in our community. Rick, we gotta go. But
all right, let's go save the world.
We got to say it.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great day, I tell you. Now, tomorrow is going to be another great show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Now, this show will be played again this afternoon at 6. If you didn't get the chance to watch it, tune in this afternoon at 6 o'clock and you can hear all that we talked about today. But I'll leave you as I do every single day, friends. And I believe this, and I believe this from my heart. Never, ever lose your focus. Never lose your focus. Always remember, if you keep God first in whatever you do, you will be a total success. So tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock for another day of sunshine and information. Tell somebody today and mean it that we can get through this together. Until then, know that I do love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Lots of information in what we do. And Rick, coming across that bridge, I'm not going to say anything because you were just a little bit late today.
Always. But I got here. So.
I mean, but you know what, let me say this. I got to say, hold up, Jimmy, give me just a second. No, Rick is always good because when he says something about where he's that voice, what I was trying to say is you have a paper that also recognizes the young people, the young entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah, we do. Rising stars.
Rising stars. These are things that I'm talking about. You don't get every day. So many things. Look him up on social media. Look him up on your IG. Follow him and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Until tomorrow morning, know that I love you, friends, with the perfect kind of love. I'll see you then. Bye for now.
Sonshines Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.